Welcome back, everyone. So, the article begins with a little story about Trader Joe's. I think someone who writes these articles is into Trader Joe's, and how back in the day at Trader Joe's you used to be able to get this wine from, I think, a California winery called Charles Shaw, and it was only $2 a bottle. So it became popularly known as $2 Chuck. And surprisingly, you might think it would taste really bad, but it was pretty good. It even won a few awards in America and many happy customers, including the author. So, you know, if you are not too picky on your wines, why not try a $2 Chuck? But so on the other end of the spectrum, you've got things like Romane Conti, 1945, which is a very old wine, as the name suggests, and it can go online for about $500,000 a bottle. I guess it must be very rare. It's obviously very old. Maybe I don't know exactly what the name means, but maybe it's a sign it's been produced in a very special place. So that's like the other end of the spectrum, super expensive wine. So some sort of smart person, smart in some way, stupid in others, came up with the genius idea to take this very cheap, well, not necessarily the actual Charles Shaw wine, but to take cheap wine, put it in a fancy bottle, relabel it as if it is a prestigious, expensive, wow factor wine, and then sell it on for a massive, massive profit. Sounded simple, and I think at first it went okay. They made about $2 million with this fraud, with this scam, but then eventually they got caught by the police, and it's looking likely they might face some pretty serious jail time for this fraud. So it seemed like a smart plan, but in the end, I guess the kind of people who drink, you know, the very expensive, extremely expensive wines, I guess they know a bit about how they taste, they know what to expect, and they could spot the difference. So yes, apparently this type of wine that they were faking was a Grand Cru, but I don't even know what that means. Have you heard of Grand Cru?
No. I thought Grand Cru meant, like, you know, in childhood and stuff, when you have your crew, you have your gang, you have your fellow individuals, like friends, and you all go out with your crew. And it's a Grand Cru.
That's C-R-E-W. This is C-R-U.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't know enough about wine.
Me neither. If you are a wine buff, please type in the comments, what is Grand Cru? Or we can go and Google it later. So let's discuss some of the wines. Now, you said a while ago you were into wine, and you know a bit about pairing. So you've done some pairing in the past. So what types of food go best with wine?
Yeah, like, so when you're going with wines, you want to, obviously you're going to take a typically sweeter red and put it with things that are not so sweet. Let's say a meat, a steak or something like that. Dry reds are going to go with better with things like cheeses and sort of some types of fruits here and there. Your whites are going to go with like fish or light things, and also some cheeses with whites as well. But yeah, you do have your different foods that can go well with the wine that you're drinking. Heavier foods, you want to have some sort of, not a palate cleanser, but something that helps you renew your feeling when you're having the heavier foods. And when you're having lighter foods, you want something that will pair well with the taste as well. Yeah, it's pretty some good stuff.
It's exciting, and especially the whole wine and cheese thing. As the world's biggest cheese fan, and that's my jam. Some
people don't pair well. I've been to wine bars and stuff, and they'll give you like that cheese platter. Not give you, you purchase it. You purchase a cheese platter with your wine. That'd be great though.
Wow.
And you have it, and you're like, they shouldn't have given this wine or recommended it or whatever. It's like,
well, I could tell you some tales and some complaints about cheese in Korea. The fanciest bars selling the most like expensive, wonderful whiskey, wine, champagne, and then the cheap cheese from the plastic cheese from the convenience store around the corner.
What's
going on? Employ me, please. I can help you.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I get
move
into this is a bit of a sensitive subject, do you think that the wow factor is a big part of the enjoyment of wine?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the show. I think having a label that you're not embarrassed to show off is a good one. You have your fun labels for your Halloween parties or your New Year's parties, and then you have your serious ones for the, the date night or the dinner parties, right? And when you bring out wine and you know where it was made, the grapes that it was made from, regions, timelines, and you know these things and you can show it off, it is part of that wine experience. When I was selling wine as a waiter, I would have to, oh, this is a new wine. I have to memorize that wine and, what it tastes like. I was too young to taste wine. I just heard from someone and I memorized what it should taste like. But I was like, 18 at the time?
Oh, that must have been torture.
Yeah.
Describing all these gorgeous tastes, like, wow, this experience. And you're like, I can't
bloop, bloop,
have
bloop,
it.
bloop, and then nothing. I can't have it. Technically, legally.
What a tease, what a tease.
I know.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to tease you guys,
Okay.
Go and have your fill of the vocabulary section, if you feel like being a snob, remember it's all about the experience, the wow factor. And my pro tip is to learn some fantastic words, some high-level words for describing the wines in your life. And then you'll have an extra special experience. And come back and see us in the next article. See you there. Bye-bye.
Legit.
Legit.
Prestigious.
Prestigious.
Set one back.
Set one back.
Content oneself.
Content oneself.
Caveat emptor.
Caveat emptor.